All right, we are live, Claudia. We are live, ready to entertain and inform the masses. How are you today?
I'm good. Good to see you
Nice to
on
be
this
seen.
on this beautiful kind of dreary day, but
It's
we
pretty
bring our
gross, but they
we
say
bring our
Thursday and Friday it's supposed to be in the 50s. So guess where Denny's going to be Thursday and Friday?
I'm probably on the golf course.
Why you say that like that's a bad thing? That's good for my mental health, Claudia.
I know it is. I'm
That's why
teasing
I
you.
do it. And
I
that's what
know.
I always remind my wife when she goes, "Are you playing golf again today?" And I'm like, "Honey, it's good for my mental health."
Yeah,
Anyway, we have another good show planned today, and hopefully everybody's ready. Are you ready, Claudia?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Good Health by Claudia, podcast with me, Denny Schaefer, a production of Denny Radio. We are at episode 5858. Woo! All right, gut health this holiday season starts in, no, let's try that again. Good
Yes.
health this holiday season starts where, Claudia?
In the gut.
Starts in the gut. Now, this is going to be kind of a two-part show. We are going to talk to one of our favorite guests. She's a returner. Is this the first one or maybe second person
Second.
we've had return? It is.
We've had a couple return. Brenda, we're very grateful to have Brenda back with us.
She's our favorite. Those other two were clowns. Anyway, we're going to talk about gut health and how important it is, especially this time of the year, because let's just be honest, Claudia, we eat a lot of crap. Well, you don't, but the
I
rest of us
don't.
do.
The rest of the yes.
We do. And so gut health is very, very important. We're also going to talk about parasites that live inside us, which is really gross. And we're just going to have a lot of fun with that. Now, the second part is Ohio legislators are trying to pull a fast one that could affect Good Health by Claudia or Claudia's Health Food. And you. Yeah, wait till you hear this one. Listen, if you're dozing, I need you to grab some coffee and lock on. And this is going to be, and I know I've never said this. They're all important. Every podcast we've done, all 57. This one might be one of the most important ones we ever do. And you'll find out if you stay with us.
Right.
All right. This information contained in these podcasts is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or health condition. Please consult a qualified healthcare professional if you do have a medical condition. The FDA has not evaluated the information on this podcast. Yeah, they're too busy doing other stupid stuff. Or I'm sorry, which represents the opinions of the hosts and our guests. Claudia, welcome to the podcast.
Well, thank you. Welcome to you too.
Brenda Watson, owner, visionary of Vital Planet. I use a number of her products. I am a huge fan. I use her probiotic. I use her Vital Planet for,
the fiber?
That. But I also use the laxative, the Vital Planet Forever Lax or whatever it's called. That stuff is wonderful.
Yeah.
Great products. Brenda is a true pioneer when it comes to gut health, educating the public. Probiotics important. Fibers important. The parasites, we'll probably get to that. Author of 7 books. We Are Not Worthy. A New York Times bestseller and the creator of 6 PBS shows on digestive health, including her newest show airing this March called Gut Check, Hope for Ultimate Health. Please welcome back. It is Brenda Watson. Hello, Brenda. Welcome.
Hi.
Yay. Hi, Brenda.
Hi.
Yeah, we like you a lot. You're a lot of fun too, and you're not boring, and your hair looks awesome, by the way.
Thank you.
All right, Claudia, take me back. How did you meet Brenda? Give me some background.
We just met being in the industry all these years. She's been a pioneer and a leading voice in gut health long before anybody else was figuring it out. And of course, when being learning from Pat and Joe Bassett, they were all about probiotics. So when Brenda and I met, I don't know how many years ago, long time, but I'm very grateful that she's Brenda, we're very grateful for you, that you do what you do, that you've been a leader in, getting people to understand everything starts in the gut. You got to clear up your gut if you want to reclaim your health. So thank you for all the work that you've been doing. How long you been in the industry?
30 years.
Yep. Beautiful.
Yeah. Long time.
Brenda,
and when I started in gut health, it wasn't fun. It wasn't sexy or whatever you want to call it. Today, everybody's in gut health, but back then I was weird.
Yeah.
Well, you fit right in with this broadcast, let me tell you. So Brenda, why gut health though? I mean, there's so many other roads you could have went. Why gut health?
Well, I think because it was back in the 80s when I started personally trying to get healthy, because I had been to every doctor in the world and, never got anywhere with it. Then I walked into a health food store one day and I thought, there's got to be something else. And this was in the 80s, and said, help me, because I'm not healthy. I've been sick since I was in elementary school due to antibiotics. What's wrong with me, and how can I change? So I back then did whatever was there. I went and changed my diet. I started juicing. I started doing things, and my problem really started with constipation. And I started working with diet and lifestyle changes, and guess what? I got better. I had chronic fatigue. I had Lyme disease. I mean, I had it all, and I was never going to get better with traditional doctors. And not that I'm dissing traditional doctors, I just wasn't getting well. So I started doing those little things, and I went, wow, so I went back to school because I got better to become a healthcare practitioner. I went to nutrition school here in Florida, and then I began to work in a clinic with a mentor. And then in 1991, I opened my own clinics. And over a period of a couple of years, I had 5 natural health clinics in the central area of Florida. So I had good grounded experience working with people. So that's what propelled me into formulating products, because I had it right there in front of me every single day of what people needed. So that's how I got here. And once, I worked in a clinic, and every clinic I had a medical doctor that was transitioning into what we called holistic alternative healthcare. I learned so much, and so many people would come back, and say, oh, I feel so much better. And then I began to see that in the health food stores back then, the only fibers that we had, for example, were psyllium, and women would be gassy and bloated. So, one of my first products was a flax fiber, because I had to figure out how there was no flax fiber on the shelf. So I went and started formulating products due to that. And then I could test them in the clinic, right? So I had firsthand experience with it. So that's
being gassy is a bad thing, because I kind of enjoy it. I mean,
I don't know, Denny. Do you like being gassy?
I kind of do.
Really don't.
My wife, not so much.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, my wife's not a big fan of, but
it's always the people around the gassy ones that aren't having fun. But
I always say better out than in.
But Brenda, what you're saying, I respect what you're saying, because experience, in my opinion, is everything. You can have all these people with all these credentials, but if they're looking at natural health through medical journals, they're disconnected from what it's really all about. We've been blessed to work with thousands of people and really watch how they heal, what helps them heal, and the journey to healing, because it's not, it takes time, it takes patience, it takes dedication. And those of us that have been in this industry all these years, we've learned to be patient and committed too, because raising the awareness of the public is, it's a lot.
Repetition. It's repetition that we have to say over and over.
Yes.
And you're right. The health food store, in wherever you are, especially Claudia's, is your go-to, because we're the innovation. We're the think tank where all these products come along. And not to diss anything on social media, but I see people touting gut health on social media that I wouldn't pay any attention to, no matter who I was. Like someone 20 or 30 years old and has had no experience with working with clients, patients, or whatever.
Right.
It's just, and here's this product that's going to cure everything you got.
Right. It doesn't exist.
It doesn't work that way. No.
So Brenda, okay, my wife is chiming in. Okay, back off, lady. My wife's chiming in the comments. All right. So it's a passion for you. I mean, you are searching for solutions for your own self, and it's become your career and your life work.
Right.
And I really respect that, because, Claudia and I started this podcast over a year ago. And I started out really slow, because that's how Claudia rolls. She didn't bombard me with 37 pills. We just took, the first thing she got me on, Vital Planet probiotic. Boom, right there. and the
Yeah.
fiber, that too. So, I started there, and now, it's becoming such a passion. That's why I love Tuesdays. I love doing this podcast. And 2024, I'm not even sure what this looks like, but I want to take it to the next level.
Right.
But here's my question for people out there that aren't even, concerned about their gut health, or they are, and they're not sure where to start. Why do you always start with a probiotic? Why is that always the first thing?
Okay. So a probiotic is good bacteria that we are born with for a reason. Okay. So when you're born and you come out of the chute, you know what I mean? You get what's called a microbial footprint. Okay.
Right.
That's a canal birth baby. If you're a cesarean born baby, you do not get that. Okay. So when you're out of the canal, you develop your microbial footprint in approximately 2 days. Cesarean born can take up to 2 years. Okay. So there's a big difference there. So that bacteria that you are born with is your good bacteria is your friend. That's lactobacillus and bifidobacteria. And I'll explain more about that later. However, you're born with this microbial footprint. Guess what? The minute you come out, antibiotics, processed food, sugar, all these things, and children get these too, that starts to diminish the good bacteria in your gut immediately. So we have to understand that we got to put the good bacteria back in us, because it is your sensor. When the reason they say that the gut is the center of your health is because of the bacteria. That's what that means.
Right.
Because
Right.
the bacteria is doing, like many years ago, I'd stand in a health food store parking lot and ask survey questions on probiotics. And what I found out is most people associate a gut problem with a GI issue like gas, bloating, heartburn,
Right.
constipation, diarrhea. Not necessarily so. You can have eczema, skin problems. You can have long-term conditions like cardiovascular and arthritis. That's all going back to the gut. And it's somewhere along the line in your life, your microbial footprint got disturbed. Okay. And a lot of that good bacteria went away and you don't know it. So the point of it is the bacteria has many purposes other than GI. So it helps you, like right now, for example, we're in the holidays, food poisoning. All of these things are opportunistic organisms. It helps with that. It helps with, when you're born, your immunity, that microbial footprint. It helps with leaky gut because the little bacteria get in there on the lining of the digestive tract and set up housekeeping, so to speak. You know what I mean? And they do all these benefits. They make vitamins B and K. How
Right.
important is that? They run your nervous system. You know what I mean? Your gut-brain connection. All of that is operating by the bacteria. Now, think of this. You have right now enough bacteria in your digestive system that you carry around every day that's the size of a brick, the weight of a brick, 3 to 4 pounds we carry here at all times in our digestive system. We want that combination of bacteria to be mostly the good guys, the probiotics,
Right.
because they're the ones that's doing all these things for us and they detoxify heavy metals. I mean, come on, that's very important. We're getting inundated with those every day. They help protect against all sorts of things that are coming at us every day. And our little bacteria in there can't survive that. So we've got to replenish it all the time. Because here's the thing, you talk about, I know y'all will talk about this later when I'm gone. We have many forces out there that are trying to diss what we do in the natural health arena. But let me tell you something. When an individual goes into Claudia's store and they take a probiotic, and especially one like Vital Planets, because I know the science. I did my first probiotic formulation in 1999. So I've been doing this a very long time. If they're taking a quality product, Denny, just like you said, you feel it. You feel what's going on inside of you.
Okay, I know Claudia's got 87 things she wants to say, but I got to ask the basic question because I don't know what I am on this show.
You're the
I just know I'm
gatekeeper.
curious. That's me. All right, so here's the question. Two things, and you can address it both either way. if you're not taking a probiotic, you're already behind the curve. I mean, if you're taking all this other stuff, but you're not taking a probiotic, you might want to rethink that. I'm just assuming. Secondly, I'm a big fan of eating to your blood type. It's changed my life. I've lost weight and I haven't gained it back in over a year. That to me says, okay, this is real. Are different probiotics, is there different, like you said, you got to have the good bacteria. Is everybody's bacteria different? Like Claudia, you're an O, aren't you?
Yes.
And I'm an A. So okay, you're an O. So would I need a different probiotic based on my blood type is my question.
No, but I mean, now I'm not saying no. I'm just saying that your bacteria microbial footprint, we're all different. It depends on where we live.
Right.
That has a lot to do with it. And also where we came out of the chute and what we've been exposed to, especially with antibiotics. But Claudia, speak to that and then I'll come back.
Well, first, before we get too far away from what you said earlier, Brenda, I always remind everybody at the store, it's fair to say that millions of Americans are very, very deficient in flora, because if we look at the history of the United States, back in the 60s, women were going into the workforce, into the work environment. They weren't nursing their babies, and they were told by Western medicine, don't worry about it. It's not necessary. Give them a soy formula. So consequently, we have millions of people that were insulted in two ways. They were raised on a soy formula that no baby on the planet has been designed to utilize soy in a productive, beneficial way for human health. And those same babies started without the flora because it must be passed through breast milk. It has to go from generation to generation, which is why we're seeing very similar gut distress in pets.
Right.
Because many of them, they're pulled from their whatever, the mother cat, the dog, whatever. Many of them are not being given a proper chance to get those initial soldiers. So when we step back and look what's happened in the United States, it's fair to say millions of Americans are generationally deficient in the good flora. And, the NIH, we've talked about this many times on the show. They estimate that 60 to 70 million people have gut distress.
Right.
60 to 70 million. So what Brenda's saying is, when we talk about gas and bloat and heartburn and inflammatory bowel disease and all this stuff, those are the symptoms. Those aren't really the problem. The initial core issue goes back to gut health, flora. Is there enough in there to keep the bad guys in check? Do we have enough to not feed fungus? And most people are fungal. Do we have enough to not allow parasites to take over us? These are very important conversations that Western medicine does not have. So thank goodness for those of us in health food stores that do, because these are the important conversations for everyday human health.
Exactly. And what Denny was saying by blood type, yes, it does. You are affected by the way you eat. So somebody with maybe an O that has more protein, or somebody that's an A that's more vegetarian, they're going to have a little bit different bacteria balance. However, we now know so much because they started genotyping these strains. That's when the National Institutes of Health put the money in probiotic research in about the early 2000s. Now, what that means is they gave money to the universities to study probiotics. And each microbiologist wanted to study something different. Some wanted to study weight loss. Some wanted to study gut-brain connection. Some wanted to study all different kinds of things that the bacteria is really your gut. When we say gut, we're really referring to the gut bacteria. It's an organ. When you look at the amount of bacteria and the amount of functions that the good bacteria handle in your body, it's a lost organ that we don't talk about. So if you go into the bacteria and you look, we have two kinds. And I'm going to make this really simple. We have lactobacillus. So think of lactobacillus as little colon, the small intestine.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have bifidobacteria, which I call the big colon.
Right.
In the small digestive and the small intestine, the lactobacillus bacteria colonizes in the very latter part of your small intestine, in the ileum, and that's mostly where your immunity is. It's where you have a lot of your pH balances that women. It's very important for women who have UTI and vaginal issues. The
Right.
pH of your body. So that's the lactobacillus. The bifidobacteria in the big colon is mainly what helps you with making your bowel movements. So, all of these things that you need balance in our world. So that's the way to look at it. You need two kinds in the body. You need the lactobacillus and the bifido. Let me take it a step further.
Yep.
When the National Institutes of Health came out, one of the things, once they could start genotyping strains. So there's two things. I'm gonna hold this up. On the box,
Right.
there's 60, that means potency, that's strains. You will not see another formula in any store that I know of that's even got probably over, I don't know, maybe 20, or I don't know. But anyway, there's no one doing 60, because I tell you, it's difficult. So what does that mean? It means that they found out in the research that they were doing that the lactobacillus acidophilus, I don't want to make this complicated. That's the genus Lactobacillus. The species is acidophilus, but then
Right.
there's a little number out there. What is that number? Well, when we got into it, a person would come into the store and say, I need acidophilus. We didn't even know the name probiotic. It didn't even exist.
Right.
And we thought that the strains, that there was one strain of acidophilus. And now
Right.
we know there's hundreds of strains.
Right.
So what the microbiologists did is they took those strains, and you're going to see that now. People will come in the store and go, well, do you have L. reuteri? Do you have this? Because
Yes.
they read something somewhere where someone's found a study, clinically studied strain that does blah, 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 that they're looking for. However, now we know that these strains are the key to all of our problems with bacteria. We need strain diversity. So what Stanford did was go to Africa, study the people there, because the hunter-gatherers, because they had no bowel problems, right? And they want to see what they were doing. And then they found out that we were losing strains. That means we're losing health benefits, Denny. That's what that means. So that's why we came out with the diversity, the high diversity, because we know we need the lactobacillus acidophilus, we need the mother. And then what we do is we come out right there. The 60 billion, I don't know, I can't tell left, right on here, guys, sorry. But the 60 billion is the potency in each capsule. And then the strain diversity, that means there's 60 different strains in there.
Right.
That is amazing accomplishment that we've done.
That is. All right, Claudia, start holding up some products, please.
Okay, so wait a minute. Let me just say one other thing. One of the reasons that I love the products you make, Brenda, they're enteric coated. And I'm a fan of enteric coated, which means the capsule is designed to not break down in the stomach from the stomach acids.
Right, exactly.
It's going to break down deep. So it can actually recolonize in the small bowel, large bowel. So these products they work beautifully. What I'd like you to do, Brenda, real quick, here's the woman's, and then here is the woman's 55. Just like,
okay.
I
get you.
Yeah, just like we have the men's,
Uh-huh.
And then we have the men's 55.
Okay.
55 plus meaning. And I'll tell you, it's so funny. I just want to tell you this real quick. I said to my husband one day, in all the years we've been selling probiotics, never has a guy come and said, oh, I love that product. And since we've been selling the ones for men, whether it's the 55 or not, all these guys will come in and say, oh, I love that probiotic. And I think it's funny because men don't usually say that. But I told my husband, I've had so many men tell me they love this probiotic. They love it. They take it. They feel better on it. So I just wanted to show those difference, and then have you, maybe you can talk about why but the 55 for women is a little different.
Yeah.
All right, hold on a second, Claudia. I got to back you up a second. First off, the men's 55 plus, put that on Denny's pile.
That's Denny's pile.
Special
I'll
Denny's
put it
pile.
over here.
Secondly,
right here.
Okay, and so either Brenda or you, Claudia, can answer this. If you've never taken a probiotic, what would lead you to believe once I start taking, or once somebody starts taking it, that it's working? Like, there are certain products that I take that I just know are working. How would you know that a probiotic is working for you? Is it increased time in the bathroom doing,
Well, I don't.
boom?
Yeah, I don't want to say that you're going to run to the bathroom every 5 minutes. That would really scare people off because you're
Yeah,
not.
no. It's not. That's not what it's doing.
Well,
No.
how do you know it's working?
Well, you know it's working because you feel it. I mean, you feel the balance going on. You're having good elimination. You're not getting sick every week. You know what I mean? These are the things we look for. Immunity, immunity, immunity. You know what I mean? And we're putting in here every day your GPS, your radar. You think of these guys as a radar sitting right in there, and they're a community. They talk.
Right.
They have crosstalk. They
Right.
talk to each other, and they say,
do.
"Hey, buddy, you've got that potential. Go over and help that problem." Your
Right.
immune system, your autoimmune things that I can't even. We hear it constantly all day. It
Right.
starts to benefit that. That's how you know.
Okay,
So
Claudia, go
let's
ahead.
go back to the women. The women's pink. I'm on the.
Yeah,
I'm trying to-
that's okay.
The women's, this is a. Remember, I said this has more lactobacillus in it than bifido, because this is more geared for women wanting to balance their urinary tract, wanting to balance their vaginal tract with the
Right.
right pH, and
Right.
just good overall for women, keeping their hormones balanced and things like that. Now, the 55 plus is different, because I will tell you, women 55 plus are different, right? They are.
Right.
We at over 55, things start happening. Our estrogen levels drop, right? So our skin dries. We dry up in other places. You know what I mean? So what this one is designed for is to have the strains in it that help bring up and balance your hormonal,
Right.
your hormones. And so that's why this is a different formula than this. You see
Right.
what I mean? And that's
Yep.
because it's geared toward a woman with different issues.
With different needs. Right.
Yeah.
Same
All
with
right.
the men, and the men,
Same
the
with the men.
55 for
You know why
men.
they
Same
like
thing.
that one? You know why they like that one, Denny? Because
Okay.
it balances testosterone.
In fact, I've even had a gentleman tell me, this was a few months ago, he feels like he has more energy when he
Yeah.
takes this product. Well, that's, so when you're on a good probiotic, a quality probiotic, especially one that can get to where it needs to go, you're going to feel it.
All right,
Right.
Claudia,
And
slide
Go ahead.
the women's probiotic also in my pile. Here's a question though: how many do you take a day? It's just one a day, which is what I do.
Just
Would you
one.
ever need to take more than that?
No, that's because it's a good quality probiotic. And what
Right.
Claudia hit on is beneficial. We guarantee your potency to expiration of product. So guess what? We have to put more in the capsule when we bottle it. We can't just put 60 in there and there's an 18th or 2-year shelf life on it, because it wouldn't be that much. And we have to guarantee claim. Okay, so that's really important. Number 2, we have 60 strains. We're now sourcing from Italy and all over the world. We have multiple prebiotics right there that are organic, right? We have multiple prebiotics. That's the food that the good guys eat. They've got to eat fibrous foods. We put that in the capsule. And then number 2, we guarantee potency, and we have a delayed release, bypassing the stomach acid and getting into the intestines. And that's what you look at when you look at a quality product.
Right.
We're covering these bases. And the reason we are is we've done it a long time. Most of what's destroyed in probiotics is the acid in the stomach kills most of it. You know what I mean? So if you don't have a delivery system on a probiotic, you're maybe getting 10% of what's label claim on it, if it's even label claim.
My last question on probiotics is this: if somebody's never been on a probiotic, they start taking it tomorrow, how soon can they expect to feel a difference, a change in the way they feel?
I would say within a week. What do you think, Claudia?
Yeah, I mean, most people will feel it within a week.
A few days to a
and
week,
we don't guarantee that. But
No.
remember, I always say we're the ones in the trenches dealing with the public, seeing the actual experience of what people are having. Most people will feel it in a week or two, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Claudia, do we have any other products you want to
We
show?
do.
Because
So
we're
I just
starting to
wanna
run out of time.
we're
Oh,
running out of time, and we didn't even
I
get
have
to
to talk about this product, Denny.
we didn't even get to the gut renew, because this is a great product. This product is helping so many, a lot of people, because of their gut distress, they're burning, they're inflamed, they're in discomfort. I had a gentleman a couple days ago. He's at the point where he can't even drink water without being in
Ugh.
discomfort. That's not a good thing. And again, we won't get, a lot of people are coming in, they're on antacids. That's a whole nother conversation that we'll do that another time, next time you come back on, Brenda, because there's concerns with antacids. They're wiping out the beneficial acid that the stomach needs to break things down. So antacids, truly, a lot of people find they are not the way. So this gut renew is helping a lot of people feel better. Oh, you've got it up here. Sorry, I see it. And one of the first things they'll come back and say is they feel better internally. They're not burning. They're not inflamed. So they truly feel this product. So Brenda, tell us what's in this product.
Okay. It's a powder. It tastes really bland. There's no flavor to it. It has in it 6,000 milligrams of L-glutamine per scoop. That glutamine, people don't realize L-glutamine, if taken on an empty stomach, is what the cells, when you said they're on fire or they're inflamed, you're right. Well, what changes that? L-glutamine gets into those cells and makes new cells. It's called regeneration. It regenerates the tissue inside your gut. So if you've got heartburn, reflux, leaky gut, it has in it 6,000. It has the DGL. It has 10,000 milligrams of organic aloe. I mean, how great is that? It's got the N-acetylglucosamine, which brings the leaky gut back together, the gut lining back together. It has in it marshmallow, which I love marshmallow and
beautiful,
all of these
anti-inflammatory. Yeah.
It's like putting a fire out. This puts your fire out.
Yes.
The best way
and it's a great product. And when you talk about L-glutamine, years ago, before we had a lot of the products that we have now, we would put people on straight L-glutamine to help with gut health.
Right.
So Brenda, you've got a lot of wonderful things in here. DGL is from the licorice root, and the activity that can elevate blood pressure has been removed. And we know that DGL is a anti-inflammatory for the stomach lining and the esophageal tissue. It's a wonderful product, and I would encourage anyone that is dealing with gut distress to consider taking this product.
One tip: it's the holidays. One tip: put this beside your bed. This is beside my bed. When I go to bed at night, if I've got something doesn't feel right, I put this with my glass of water, dump it in. It mixes up really clear and good, and I drink it down. It's something that's you can use it with so many issues. Some people may use it once in a while, but these people that have heartburn, leaky gut, and reflux and things like that, they will be back at the store to get it.
Yes.
I was just at a trade show, and they were telling me all the different testimonials of people coming back in the store. This will be our #1 seller one day. I'm telling you.
It's a wonderful product. I do want to throw in there, though, we do encourage people to change their diet, because when the gut is expressing that it's not happy, that's the way it's saying, hey, I'm really mad at you for what you just asked me to digest.
Well, you guys talking about food. I'm sorry, the blood type diet is perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah, it's an amazing protocol, and along with these quality products, it's changing a lot of people's lives. So now, real quick, before we go.
Hey, slide the gut over to my pile too, please.
All right, I will.
Well,
Florida dog.
I'm an animal lover.
These are and these are terrific.
Oh my gosh, the probiotics for your dogs. The amount of people we're selling the probiotics for your dogs. And you said it, Claudia. You said it. You said what the dogs and cats have now is what we have. Right. Why? Because we fed them the same way.
It's all the junk and the years of all the stuff, the junk in the food, the junk that they're eating, and you know, it's
And
all
that
building up.
probiotic is awesome, and we have it for cat. Now we do species specific, so we don't make dogs just for the pet.
Right.
Cats are carnivores, dogs are omnivores, so they eat
Right.
differently. So their probiotics have to be different. So that's
Yes.
why. But our probiotics are beyond compared. There's nothing that you're going to buy on the market at 20 billion per soft chew.
Right. Great products. Well, I think that was a lot of good stuff we talked about, huh?
Are you
I mean,
kidding me? I feel like I just ran a marathon with you two.
Me too. Go,
well,
go.
really, we could sit here and talk for another hour easily
Forever.
and still
Forever.
have more to talk about. So, but
Oh, you want me to hit on parasites before I go?
Actually, I think
well,
we're going to have you back in January. We're going to do that.
I'd love to have you back beginning of the year after everybody's fed their parasites with all their holiday goodies.
There's no
We'll have a
judgment
show.
there,
I'm
Claudia.
gonna come
We'll
back.
have a show how to get rid of them.
Yeah, I've been parasite testing and my first formula for parasites was in 1997. So
Wow,
I
yeah.
have a lot of
And we
experience.
sold it. We sold it. Yeah. Yeah. So, well, thank you, Brenda. You're
Thank
wonderful.
you guys. Claudia, thank you for the good work you do. You're a trooper.
Well,
we know you're an industry staple and that
well, thank you.
people visit you because you're an institution. That's what you have. You have an
well,
institution.
thank you. I say it every day. I'm so grateful to be blessed to walk this journey my entire life, starting with my mother and then starting at Bassett's when I was 16, learning from those two great mentors and meeting so many brilliant, wonderful, amazing people along the way. So it's a true blessing, and I'm grateful to be able to share it with others. And thank you for what you're sharing. Because it's you know, listen, Western medicine has a place, but it's fair to say when it comes to everyday wellness, they don't belong in that space. They belong in crisis care.
Right.
So we're talking about everyday people doing everyday wise things to reclaim their health. And these are the tools. So Brenda, I love you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Denny. You're doing a great job, Denny.
I appreciate that. Thanks for throwing me that bone there, Brenda, and have a great holiday.
See you soon.
All right. That was awesome. You two, it's like drinking out of their hose. It was awesome, though. Now, thank you for the nice things. Let's see. Dot, Steven, Stephanie, Stan, who finally has watched us live. So we appreciate all those comments. Now, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. We have something that's going on in Ohio. The legislators here.
Yeah.
Okay, Thursday, legal recreational weed, the law kicks in. In other words, it's legal, but you can't buy it in Ohio because now the politicians have to craft the law so the big money people, in my opinion, who donate to all these politicians, that they're all going to get paid. And I believe what goes on is they try to shut out the little guy by making it harder for them to get a dispensary. But if you got a big fat checkbook and you've been greasing I'm sorry, did I say grease politicians? No. Listen, there's things going on, and there's a
lot going on.
It's infuriating. Now,
it is.
Go ahead and tell everybody what you and I talked about yesterday on the phone.
So I just got word on this yesterday, and this came from the U.S. Hemp Roundtable, which is the only advocacy group in the United States, I believe, that I know of, that is doing, they're advancing the understanding and the education and protecting the right to access industrial hemp products. So because the law, which of course the Ohio citizens, they voted for it. They want legalized recreational marijuana, which I think is great. My opinion has always been marijuana. It's a plant. God put it here. Nobody should have the right to mess with it, but that's a whole nother conversation. So I'm thrilled to see these things moving in the right direction. However, now we're just getting word that with this law passing, the Senate, they want to make changes to the very wording that people voted on that passed the bill. So there's many changes, and they're not all good ones. But the one that we want to talk about today, for anyone that's using They want to, in Ohio, they want to put a ban on full spectrum hemp derived CBD products. Full spectrum, which is what we sell, which is what health food stores sell. So here's an example. When you look at this, I just want to show this. Can you see this? This is CV Science. You see it says full spectrum hemp extract. And what that means is within the hemp, the industrial hemp plant, there's all those cannabinoids in there. There's many, and they all play a role in benefiting human health. Under the federal law, THC must be under 0.3%. 0.3%. So when people come in for full spectrum hemp extracts or whatever it might be, I mean, we have topicals, and but when they come in, and they're coming in for reason, whether it's helping them, these products are helping them sleep, whether they're helping them calm down, whether they're helping deal with some inflammation that's causing some distress and pain. Many, many people not only benefit from these products, but depend on them for their health. And we have doctors that are sending in, we have children that are on them, we have pets. I brought New Life. They have a nice pet CBD, and you see it says full spectrum. When we talk about marijuana, that THC content is elevated. That gives it the psychotropic activity. Well, that's fine, but not everybody wants that or needs it. And I do believe THC in its own right has some benefit, but at any rate, for what we're talking about, now the Ohio senators want to ban the sale of full spectrum hemp CBD products. I think it's awful. I think it's terrible. I think it's a bad decision, and it's absolutely not right because so many people are using these products to benefit their health. So, it's turf protection, right? Everybody wants to protect their dollars and their turf. Well, so we finally legalized marijuana in Ohio, and now they want to go after the full spectrum products. It's like, it's ridiculous.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second here. And we're going to talk about this for a little while because there's a lot to peel back. So we're going to run over today. And I'm telling you, share this podcast. It's really, really important. So the full spectrum CBD products that you sell, in the eyes of the federal government, they're legal, correct?
Yes, they are.
But the state of Ohio, who just passed, and the state of Ohio, who just passed legal recreational weed with THC in it,
right?
It's now legal in Ohio as of Thursday, but in the eyes of the federal government, it's still illegal.
My understanding, yes.
No, it is. I mean, the federal government has.
They have not, at a federal level, they have not approved it.
So a product that you've been selling for who knows how long, years, that's legal in the eyes of the feds. Now the state of Ohio wants to make it illegal. And here's what I think's going on, Claudia. I think what's going on is the reason why it takes till next September before you can actually go to a dispensary to buy your recreational weed. Here's what I think's going on. I think the dispensary owners that are, have been political contributors for decades are all lining up to make it harder for you and any other health food store to be able to sell these products. Hey, let's shut those people out. Let's make the only way you can buy them to be legal, you have to come to a dispensary to buy the full spectrum CBD. Now, listen, this is just my opinion, but what other excuse could they give? It's a legal product today, but by Thursday, it could be illegal. And you watch and mark my words, when a dispensary opens up, they're going to be selling it. Watch it.
Well, we'll see. Because right now, what dispensaries sell are, high THC content in their products. And not everybody wants that or needs it. So we'll see if they actually are selling it at dispensaries. And here's the thing. We just got an alert, which we are going to post from the U.S. Roundtable, Hemp Roundtable yesterday. So there's a lot of conversation that's been going on since the law passed. But when the Roundtable sent this out, which I have a lot of respect for this group, this is right now, this is a new conversation that we're just learning. And, it's always important to Denny and I that we give out accurate information. So there's a lot of changes that they want to make to the law that was just passed, but I don't know enough of the conversation, so that's why we're not going to talk about a lot of the many of the other changes. But when it comes to this full spectrum hemp situation, the legislators that are proposing this, they are wrong. They're on the wrong side of the fence. They're protecting the dispensaries, and they should be protecting the public. So we're encouraging people because they want to get this thing through. They want to make all these changes to the law that just went through.
That makes no sense. Here's what people believe it's going to be, and now they're going to change it to
favor
all of the donors. It's what it is, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And let's face it, we all know it always goes, everything that's imbalanced in this country and really around the world, I guess, things always go back to money, power, greed. I mean, I think that's a fair statement.
It is.
If we didn't have money, power, and greed, a lot of things would be running smoothly in the United States. But there's too many legislators that are protecting business, and they're not protecting the public. It's like, come on, you can do both. Let the dispensaries do what they do. Leave the full spectrum hemp alone in the stores. We have customers that have shopped at our store for years. In a million years, they have no intention of walking into a dispensary. What about those people? Where's that leave the 70 and 80-year-old people that are using a full spectrum product for their health? Where's that leave them? Or people that are giving it to their children? Are they going to walk in and get to a dispensary where there's stuff all around? They don't. So the whole thing is very sad. And this is why we wanted to talk about it today. We're asking people, please call your Ohio senators. Please call. And Governor DeWine, is my understanding is, from what I've read in several articles that I looked at between yesterday and today, he's part of wanting this ban and the changes to the wording to be fast-tracked so they can get it done by Thursday, because the law goes in effect Thursday. Well, this is a big conversation, and I hope they get so many people calling them today and tomorrow saying, I am opposed to you banning these products. What are you doing? I hope they get so many phone calls that their phone's ringing off the hook. So that's what we're hoping everyone will do.
So call your state senator or your state house representative and let them know how you feel. Also, I think we have some, there it is, Hemp Supporter.
And the Hemp Supporter, yes. And this is an important, you can go to this page through the U.S. Hemp Roundtable, and it's a very nice site. You put your name in and whatever you do, and it'll take you to, you can send a letter, your thoughts, whatever it is, directly to whatever.
Emails. Yeah, that's easy.
Yes, the emails.
I've done that many times. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Now, is there any chance we're going to get them on our podcast anytime soon?
Well, I'd love to. I'm trying. I was hoping to have somebody today, but it was such short notice.
Right.
But hopefully we can get somebody on.
I mean,
maybe next week.
This is pretty important. So if we can, even if we have to do a special time or whatever, we'll do it. Let's work around their schedule.
Yeah.
Since, it's not really golf season, I'm available. So yeah, because this is just too important. And this is the kind of BS. It's why I don't do news talk radio anymore, because I got tired of the greed and the protecting and the hypocrisy. And it's just, it's disheartening, and we got to stand up. We got to stand up.
Sure. We can't let all these people that just want to do whatever they want to do for big business. We can't let them get away with it. So speak up, everybody. Send emails, pick up the phone, call. We've got today and tomorrow. Now, I did talk to a legislator that they, some people don't necessarily think they're going to get this all done by Thursday, but let's face it, when there's a push for big business, they do things that, aren't always wonderful. So hopefully they don't get it through by Thursday, but let them hear our voice. Call, email, get it out there. Make sure you check out the U.S. Hemp Roundtable website. Very, very great organization.
Awesome. All right. So next week we may or may not have them on. If not, who do we have scheduled for next Tuesday?
Well, next week we are, we were going to talk about just what is gluten. Gluten is, how gluten is affecting people and how to make your holiday goodies a little more easy on the tummy. So we're going to talk about healthy
So
ways
Christmas
to
treats,
yeah,
cookies,
Christmas
and stuff
treats and
like
all that
that.
stuff. We're going to talk about what you can do to change up some recipes and make it less, insulting to the to your system.
So next week we'll be together over here at my house, correct?
Yes.
So does that mean you're going to bake up a bunch of goodies so Denny can try them? Do a try it Tuesday with Denny trying these recipes. I
Well,
think that's a good
no.
idea, Claudia.
Well, I'll get right on that.
Come on.
Even
Oh,
though I do make twice a year, I make chocolate chip cookies. It's an old recipe. We don't eat enough sugar. I don't worry about using, organic flour and all those things. But every Christmas I make these cookies, and because I've given them out to people for so long, they'll call me and say, "Hey, when are you baking the cookies? And when am I going to get my cookies?" So when I make those cookies, I'll give you some.
all right. You're
How's
awesome.
that?
All right. Great job today. That was a lot of fun. Brenda's
Yeah, that
awesome.
was good. She's
Great
terrific.
information.
Yeah.
So before we go, like always, I'm giving you the last word.
Well, thank you. I always appreciate it. So, a lot going on. There's a lot we can do. We have to stay aware of things. We have to get involved. We have to speak up and stay dedicated to what true health is all about. Because let's face it, our good health is being infringed upon in many, many ways in this country. There's things being put in the food supply. It's getting worse. Most people don't even know what they're eating, let alone what's in there. So it's all becoming a problem, and a serious problem. And when we see it affect our children, and you'll always hear me talk about the children, because we're doing them a huge disservice. We're harming them by the junk everybody's feeding them. So keep learning, everybody. Keep being willing to listen, open your mind, open your heart, and know that the power to heal is with us. It's between nature, us, and God. I will always throw God in there. I don't get into religion, but I will always honor our Maker and something that's greater than all of us together. So keep the faith, everybody. Learn every day. Take it in baby steps. We're grateful to be doing this every week. We appreciate you joining in. We hope you share it. We tell your friends, tell other people, and just keep the faith. And as I always say, shine your light and share your love. There's a lot of love in this world. So share it with others, and we can make beautiful change. So we appreciate everybody, and we'll see you next week. Peace.